Okay, so today we're jumping right into it. We are washing our brushes today. I've got tons of them stocked up from the last video and from just in general being dirty. So I wash my brushes at least once a month. You don't have to wash your brushes that often. It just depends on how often you use them. So I have a towel, some paper towels, which I end up not using, and then 2 bowls. One's a small and one's an even smaller bowl. I'm gonna start with the beauty blenders. Now I'm going to take the mixing bowl, some Dawn dish soap, it doesn't matter what kind you use, and then I'm just going to put some water, add some water to fill the bowl in, and then I'm going to put the beauty blenders in the bowl and continuously squeeze them to make sure that the beauty blenders get saturated with the soap and water, and then I'm going to let them soak. Typically I let them soak overnight and then I will finish cleaning them in the morning, but for the sake of the video I just let them soak while I clean the rest of the brushes, and that ended up being good enough. So I'm just gonna set those aside and we'll continue cleaning the other brushes. Now I'm taking a small bowl and I'm going to add my dish soap to it, and this is basically the shampoo for my brushes. Then I'm going to add extra virgin olive oil. It doesn't matter what kind, this is just what I have on hand, and this is basically the conditioner for my brushes that's going to keep them soft. Then I'm going to take a foundation brush and I am going to start soaking the bristles. This is just going to help make sure that when I put it in the mixture that it's going to lather it up really well. When you wash your brushes, you want to make sure you're tilting them down, not up, because you don't want the soap or water getting past this point here. That can loosen up the glue and make your brushes come apart and your bristles fall out. So I'm just going to now dip it into the mixture. I'm gonna really soak this one quite a bit just because this has got so much foundation and gunk on it. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is just run it over my hand and really lather up that soap, get it really just into the bristle and get all that foundation and gunk out of there. Then I'm going to slowly rinse it out. Just want to rinse out the dirty soap, and then I'm going to reapply more, and then I basically continue doing this until I don't need to anymore. Now I'm really pressing my fingers in towards the middle and working them in, because that's mostly where the foundation gets skunked up, is in the middle there. So I really want to work my fingers in there to get it all out. I think I just said in there 10 times in a row. So here I'm just dipping into more of the mixture to make sure I got the rest of the foundation and gunk all out. So I'm just continuing the process, but this time I am actually kind of digging my fingernails in to where I know that foundation is gunked up, and I'm making sure all the bristles are coated with the soap so the soap can break up the foundation and gunk. So just repeating the same thing over. Then I'm squeezing the soap out before I'm actually rinsing it. This is going to coat more of the brush with the soap and just pull out all that foundation and crud that's in there. And then I will rinse it out completely. Once I'm done cleaning, I will sometimes dry it off with a towel. I don't always do this. Just get all the excess water out. And then what I'm going to do is pull on the bristles. I don't pull them super hard. I just do this to shape the bristles, make sure that the brush is going in the bristles are going in the right shape. Then I have this nifty little thing from Sonia Kashuk. It is a brush drying thingy that it just holds your brushes in the correct position so they can hang like this while they dry. So the next brushes I'm washing are a group of brushes. The reason I'm doing a group of brushes is because it's a lot faster than doing one brush at a time. And when you have a lot of brushes, you don't want to be doing one at a time. So I'm just taking the eyeshadow brushes that are similar in shape or in size and grouping them together, and then doing the same thing that I did with the foundation brush, wetting the bristles down, dipping them in the soap mixture, and then pulling, lathering them up, pulling the soap out, and rinsing and repeating until I get the cleanliness that I so desire, which means that the soap pretty much is running clear, or the water is running clear. I do want to mention really quickly that I personally don't like using the back of my hand all the time because then it gets all pruny and gross. So they do make these silicone mats. You can get them pretty much anywhere now. All they are is silicone mats that are ribbed and have dots and all these funky things that you rub your brushes against and it gets them clean. It does the same thing that your hand does, but just a better job, I think. So they make them in mitt form and in matte form, where you can just lay them in your sink or wear it as a glove. Now, in some cases, not all the brushes are going to get as clean because they are in a group. So this one I did use with black eyeshadow, so it's harder to get clean. So I ended up taking this one out of that bundle and cleaning it separately just because it just needed the extra attention. So I'm doing the same thing again, just this time it is not in a group. And you can see the difference now. It's got its white tip back. And then I'm drying them off. Now I don't do this with all the eyeshadow brushes. I don't swirl them on the towel to dry them. Sometimes I will just shape them and hang them, or shape them and lay them on a towel, and you can just leave them like that. You don't have to hang them. So this is me just shaping the brushes. And the reason you're supposed to hang them like this is because, one, if you have excess water, it's going to drip down instead of staying in the like silver spot with the glue. You don't want the water to gunk up in there and loosen the glue. And two, it'll help your bristles naturally flow downwards into the position that they need to be. So it's a nifty little tool. It just doesn't hold that many brushes. So I do let some dry and then I'll switch them out. Otherwise, majority of the time, I just lay my brushes out on the towel. Now, this brush in particular is like super duper duper gunky. I'm going to show you a different method other than just the dish soap method. Now I'm starting out with the dish soap method, doing the same thing, but then I'm going in with this Pharmacy Green Clean makeup removing balm. The other one that I like is the Clinique Take the Day Off makeup removing balm. This is my favorite thing ever, and I know this works really well on brushes, but I'm testing out the pharmacy one today. So all I did was scrape it against my thumbnail and take it out of the container, put it on the bowl, because I don't want to be dipping my brush into the actual container, because that's just gonna contaminate it and get bacteria in it. So I'm doing this because that balm actually breaks up the makeup a lot more than what the dish soap is going to do. So if you have a brush that is tougher to get clean, or even a beauty blender or beauty sponge that's tougher to get clean, using one of these balms is going to help tremendously. Now, what I learned from this brand, I don't know how it works on the face, but with brushes, the Clinique one definitely works a lot better. So all you do is the same technique that you would the regular soap and olive oil mixture. It's just using a different cleaner. Now I'm starting in with some face brushes. Again, I'm grouping 3 face brushes. I'm not grouping as many because these brushes are bigger. 2 of these brushes are the same exact brush, and then one is one that just kind of looks alike, has the same shape. So same thing again, dipping in the soap, lathering, rinsing, repeating until they're all clean, and then pulling them to reshape them. Same thing, just over and over and over. It's all so fun. Now on this last brush, you will see it is not shaped as well as the other ones. So if you do have that issue, you can just rewash it. See if you can see some of the hairs are kind of sticking up. Rewash it and it should go back to its shape. Now let's head back to the beauty blenders. So this water is nasty. I'm going to dump that out, rinse the bowl out, set it aside quick. And then I'm going to squeegee these out and watch it just flew everywhere. Now you can see how much cleaner it is already. The beauty blender is already a lot bluer than it normally is. And it's only got foundation on the tip and on the butt instead of all over in the middle. So first I'm going to start by squeegeeing it out, rinsing it out with just plain water. And then I'm going to dip into the soap mixture and really coat this beauty blender. Then I'm going to do basically the same technique I do with the brushes and really rub that into my hand, get that soap mixture really saturated into the beauty blender. You want that soap in there to break up all that foundation and makeup and gunk. So I'm going to roll that around in my hand a lot. And then before I actually rinse the beauty blender, I'm squeegeeing out the soap that's already in there without actually sticking it under the water. This is going to pull most of the foundation and gunk out initially. Once the majority of that is done, I will go ahead and rinse it, continue to squeegee it out. Now, I do end up having to squeegee it out a lot just to make sure all the soap is out, because you don't want soap left in there. But I will do this at least 2 to 3 times to make sure my beauty blender is absolutely clean. This time I only did it once and it did do the job, but I usually do it at least 2 times just to make sure. So you can definitely see there's no foundation left on it. Looks pretty good to me, don't you? Don't you think? I think so. Then I just set my beauty blender aside, stick it on a towel, and that is all I do. It's a tedious job. Is it fun? Not really, but you gotta do it. So that's it. While you look at all my clean brushes, I will tell you the reason we wash brushes is to get rid of any bacteria. If your brushes are full of buildup and you haven't washed them in a while, the performance of the brushes can actually go downhill as well. You're not going to get as good of quality of application as you normally would with a clean brush, because obviously you've got all that gunk buildup. With all the bacteria in it, that's going to cause you to break out, give you lots of acne, and nobody wants that. If you clean and take care of your brushes, they will last a very long time. Some of these brushes I've had for over 5 years, and that's pretty much it with the brushes. There's not much to it, but that's how I clean them. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.